Still waiting for everyone to come on. And then you gotta ask me questions. So I am live. I am live. Nobody is here yet. Say something. Say something. Say something. Oh, hi, in New York. You are there, Joyce. Joy. How are you? So, I want to sort of just come on here live so that we can have a chat. I am in Melbourne right now, and sorry, I'm just trying to look for non-copyright music to play in the background as I wait for everyone. At least just a few people to come on so that I can answer most of the questions that everyone has been asking me in regards to my line of duty. Um, yeah. So yeah. So I've seen you are four. Say something. Let's listen to this music. Jungle Fever. Um, Joyce Abess. Oh, thank you, love. Oh, you're cooking. Enjoy. What are you cooking, Joy? What are you cooking? I'm doing great. I'm doing great, ma. So I'm doing awesome. I'm doing awesome. I just got to Melbourne now, and I just thought to make this video very quickly. It's a live video. I don't know how long this video is gonna take, depending on how you guys are gonna be engaging. So yeah. Oh, Paris, Tequeen. I'm doing fine, love. I'm doing fine. So I wanted to sort of talk to you guys because hello from Toronto. Hello, Nyagok. Nyagok Benny. Your name sounds like you are a Nilot. Joyce, you're cooking, but you don't know exactly what you're cooking. Yeah, cooking is an art. Just mix everything and everything is gonna come out. It's gonna come out okay. So I wanted to discuss flight attendant salary because a lot of you guys have been asking, like most people have been asking me, they wanted to know exactly how much flight attendant gets. So I don't know, I'm gonna give you guys the technicalities of it just to let you guys know that the job you get paid according to your rank in the field. So, and mostly we get paid from the time you wait. All right, okay. So firstly, when you join as a flight attendant, if you had previous flying experience, that means that your basic salary gets a little bit better, like more. You get a little bit more than everybody else. But hold on. But if you are a newbie, like I was, sorry. If you are a newbie like I was when I first joined flying, you basically I'll get to read your messages, your questions later, but let me just sort of go through this. Yeah, so when you are a newbie, you get paid a different basic salary. So your basic salary is not your final pay, because obviously if somebody hears, oh, the basic salary, usually people quote very less money when it comes to basic salary. So your salary is usually calculated based on how many trips or how many hours you have accumulated in your period roster. uh, let's say per monthly. In each month a roster comes out, so then usually people are allowed to bid flights, like to ask for whichever flights they want to do. But in most cases, they it's cold in Melbourne. That's why I have layers and layers of sweaters. So I don't want that to show. Yeah. Anyway, so what am I saying? Yeah. So they give you based on your money based on how many flights you've done, and they pay you in hourly basis from the time you report for duty, depending on which airline, because my airline pays you from the time. It's ranging between 4,000 to 3,000, sometimes 2,500 dollars. I say in dollars because I have a lot of in my, when I check the people who watch me, most of the people who watch me come from the US. So anyway, if I say dollars, you can actually go and calculate and find out. In a year, probably we get paid maybe more or less more than 35,000, or more of like 40,000 a year. So yeah, so you guys, I'm just giving you guys the tea. It's like I have nothing to hide. I'm just telling you because the airline industry is, you can even Google it and find out exactly how much people get paid. But then again, for the company I'm working for, or the airlines, the Middle Eastern airline, people have advantages because they usually pay your bills most of the cases. So the money that I have just quoted, if you add accommodation allowance, that is gonna make it higher. As in, they're gonna add you more if you don't live in the company accommodation. So usually, they pay transportation, they pay for your laundry, they pay your medicals, all everything, your medical, except cosmetic things that are done for vanity, like teeth whitening or what, or even dental, whatever work. But the rest of the things they pay, so the medical, everything paid. And also they give you maternity benefits, also is paid. And they pay your gas, that is house gas, electrical gas, cooking, whatever. And they pay your electricity, water, all this is paid for, because that is if you have not taken accommodation allowance, if you are living in the accommodation which they have provided, then this everything is paid for. But if you take your accommodation allowance, then it depends on how you want to live. Sometimes some people take, actually a lot of people take it, but then not everyone is allowed to take accommodation allowance. You only take it if you are married, and if you have proven that you are married by providing a marriage certificate. So obviously they don't go around checking, is she really married? Like, so long as you provide to them marriage certificate, they are going to give you your allowances. And then nowadays, I've heard a lot of my colleagues saying that the allowances are paid in in installments. So, and mostly the housing, our housing is being paid in the UAE. The housing are paid like a yearly basis, but some homeowners accept you to pay them in installments. So I hope that makes sense. So yeah, so I said other airline pay you as soon as the aircraft takes off, and as soon as the aircraft landing. But no, land. But our airline pays you as soon as you report for duty, and as soon as the aircraft lands back. So it doesn't matter if, let's say, you report for duty and then you go to the aircraft, and then you delay, you have some technical or whatever delays that cost you not to take off on time. That is still getting paid. It's still getting paid so long as you're still in the aircraft. Other airlines usually do chocks off and chocks on, only when you take off and only when you land. So that is a bit of a loss, because obviously you're not getting paid for the times, because sometimes you can stay in the aircraft for as long as, even there was a time we stayed in the aircraft for more than 12 hours. You won't believe it. We stayed in the aircraft for more than 12 hours at a time. We reported 6 o'clock in the morning, and we were actually supposed to take off immediately, but we didn't, because of there was a lot of fog that had just taken over Abu Dhabi, that they just had to, like, we couldn't take off. So anyway, you guys, and then what else am I asking? Yeah, so you get paid based on your rank. So that is, if you are a senior cabin crew, which is we have, how many managers do we have in our airline, man? We have so many managers. We have like three managers. We have the most senior, the head of the flight, that is like the manager, and then we have assistant manager, and then we have food and beverage manager. So these ones gets paid differently. They get paid differently, and then after that we have this they call them FJ, meaning they work in the front, like they work in business class and whatnot. And then we have FAs. So the FAs are the ones who work in economy. So everyone gets paid based on your rank. So let's say if I'm FJ, because I work in the front nowadays, you get paid hourly, which is how many, like they calculate flying allowance based on the hour from the time you reported until the time you take off. They start paying hourly, so it doesn't matter how many hours since the time you reported for duty. So they pay you that hourly, and then with that hourly, it could be 50. How much is 50? You guys, I don't want this video to go all the way, but I wanna just give you guys the take, because you guys asked, and I decided to give you. So let's say it's 13. So it's $13 per hour, depending on your rank. Okay, let's just say $13 maximum per hour. So with this $13, you get paid from the time you reported for duty until the time you land back. So this 13 hours. So this is a different slot of pay, right? And then you get paid based on on the destination you are going. So let's say let's say you're going to Melbourne, like now I'm in Melbourne, the flight is 13 hours plus. So 13 hours, obviously you multiply that 13, and then after that, layover allowance as well. You get paid the time you stay in the what is it called, in the place that you've gone to. Now I'm in Melbourne. I'm not sure if I'm getting when I am in layover, I'm still on duty, so I'm still getting paid, right? Until I think layover allowance. I don't know how they calculate layover allowance. I think maybe for a meal, they pay for your meal and for your lunch, dinner, breakfast, and whatever in between. So yeah, so that's different. But then if it's in Europe, a lot of people get paid better if they do Europe destinations or longer destinations. Asian destination doesn't pay better, obviously, because it's very long flights that you have to, like, people do those no, it's very short flights, and they're very demanding, and they are very hectic flights in a narrow body aircraft, in the Airbus small aircraft. But then it takes a lot of, the workload is so much, yet there are only very few crew, so then it's harder work compared to this one. Like, for example, this Melbourne, you are so many of you in the aircraft, you are like 12 plus crew, and each and everyone have their area of responsibility where they work. So the workload is a bit not as high as when you are working in the smaller aircraft. You know what I mean, you guys? Okay, I know, because you are not there technically, so you don't know exactly what it might be, a bit lala, but I'm trying to explain for you guys to understand. So then, if you're going Asian destinations, not good pay. You'll have to do so many of these hectic flights for you to even accumulate as much money. And even if you stay, let's say, in Africa, or you stay in Asia, those layovers don't pay as much, because they pay you according to that country's currency, because obviously you're gonna use that country's currency. Some airlines usually give you the money, the layover money, when you just go to the briefing. They calculate. They don't wait to give you all the money. Okay, our airline pays you everything together at the end of the month, but some airlines give the layover allowance, like the destination allowances, like the money to use for food and la la la. They give you when you are in the briefing. They pay you, as you go. But for us, everything accumulates. So they lay over. So it's up to you. Okay, for me, I like the way our company does, because then if they pay us on the okay, if they, let's say they give me a hundred US dollars, I'm going to US. Let's say they give me 400 US dollars. Okay, this is your money. You are going to spend this money in your layover. Then I will feel like I have to buy things, because sometimes when you see the money with you, you are like in your hand, you're like, I have to buy things. Sometimes you get tempted to buy things with it. So I prefer the way our airline gives us the accumulated amount at the end of the month. Then it's up to you to actually like budget with that money, to know what are you gonna use where, and how much are you gonna use where. So for example, if they were to pay me 400 in for this flight, like to use for my food, I'm like, geez, like that's too much for me. Like I'm just saying that I couldn't use all that for my food. I couldn't use all that. I don't really spend too much money on food, so I would really obviously pocket most of that. So let's say, and most of the time in my, if I eat one big meal, I am full for the rest of the day. So I don't have to really waste more of the money, maybe just doing a little bit of snacks here and there. So it's good that our airline chooses to give you the accumulated amount of money at the end of the month. So what else? So yeah, according to your flying allowance, then how many times are you allowed to fly? So it depends, really. It depends. But in between your flights, you need to have adequate off day. You need to have like either sometimes 2 days off, or sometimes 3 days off, depending, because the short ones, they don't give you as much off days, because you can do those short ones 5 times in a row, then you get 2 days, and then go again 5 times in a row. Those ones are marathon. Nobody wants to do those, like it's really hectic, but we get to do them anyway. But then if they give you this, like the one that I've done now I'm in Melbourne. Obviously you stay in Melbourne for a couple of, how many, for like a couple of hours, obviously for one day, and then no, 1 day and a half, maybe two, let's say maximum 2 days. Okay, people stay maximum, the highest people have stayed is in Toronto. They've stayed for 75 hours. That is the highest. And they used to stay in Singapore, Brisbane, where they stay a couple of hours in Singapore, and then they leave, they go to Brisbane, and then they come back to Brisbane. Like it's like a Singapore, Brisbane, one trip. It used to be 9 days trip in a row. So that used to pay fantastic, but they stopped it. And yeah, so it depends on how many flying hours you have. There are people who even request for flights on their off days because they want more money. I could never do that. My off day, if they call me, I don't even pick up my phone. It's in my right. Oh, like, why are you calling me on my off day? Like, why are you being disrespectful to my resting time? Why? Sometimes your body is just too knackered. You just want to sleep. So what else do you guys ask me a question so that I can answer? So let me see what you guys are saying. So, oh, you are a Dinka. Wow. Nagok, you are a Dinka, so you are Sudanese. I'm sure you're so beautiful. Tandiwe Thiri, I think this could be a South African. Still looking forward to us meeting up in any Abu Dhabi, no pressure. Oh yeah, I know, man. I have been working like crazy. Haven't gotten a lot of time to even come to the city. Hello to all chats. Greetings from all. Okay, you guys you just hi, I'm here for my first live with your channel. Thank you, love. Sister, tuko karibu sana. You're welcome. MJs, thank you. Asante sana. Double excitement for me. I can. All right. Okay. If you ever heard, is that Toronto or okay? All right. Ask me questions, you guys. What happened to? Oh, All Marie is asking me what happened to Mr. Scotland. Okay. anything to do with my private life, anything to do with my dating and private life is now going to be absolutely private. I'm going to not bring it on the social media because of the backlashes I've gotten and the way people I don't like it. I don't like to bring anything personal in my I learned from YouTubers like This Is S for me to just keep my private life private, and that means my work, you will never see me with uniform. I'm going to separate that from my social media. My work, I will never ever mention my job or even my employer. Never ever. So even right now, you really could just assume that I work for this company or that company, but you really don't know what company I work for unless you've met me personally and you know where I work. Then that's it. But then I'm not going to discuss anything based on my personal life. It's going to remain personal. So I hope you understand that, and please don't ask any more questions based on my personal life. I am enjoying Melbourne. I'm just doing this. All right, you're in England. Okay, do you ever come to Malaysia? Yes, I do, Georgina. I do come to Malaysia sometimes, but it's been quite some time since I came to Malaysia. How often do you fly to US, and do you have time during layovers to see the city? Yes, I don't fly to US now. In US, I thank God I don't fly to US. Oh my God. In US, you need to have a visa, a crew special visa to fly to US. I used to have it for 5 good years. No, it is a 10-year visa. No, 5-year visa. And then it expired. And then I was like, I just in the hiding and really just hope they don't schedule me for that visa. I know there's a lot of people who actually request for that visa. And when you request for that visa, they give you straight away. But I just don't want to request it because the people profile for the American flight is just hectic. Most American flight, it doesn't matter what destination, the entire flight is the most hectic flight in the entire route. It's very hectic, non-stop. This one was very non-stop, Melbourne. I was so surprised because I usually do Melbourne a lot, but I never, ever like the only time I slept was when I was on my rest, because we usually have rest during these ultra long haul flights. When I was going to sleep, that is the only time I had my rest. Otherwise, oh God, like it was a day flight, so every single person is hungry. They want to eat, they want to snack, they want to drink, they want to drink more, they want to drink more. Like they just like you cannot you obviously cannot blame them, because when you're just sitting watching TV, you want to eat. So anyway, today was a bit hectic than usual, but for US, I don't want to do US. But yes, we usually come to US. I came to US maybe 2 years ago after my visa expired. I was like, I'm not even asking for the visa because I can't be bothered to do the American flights. They are just too hectic. So you say sorry for asking. No, it's okay. I know you must be curious and you want to know. It's normal. Curiosity is for us humans. We want to know what happened to Mr. Scotland, but Mr. Scotland or anybody or anyone else personal is never going to be mentioned or even brought up into this channel. So I hope you guys understand that. So you're always looking super gorgeous and amazing. Boy Love is saying, oh, thank you so much. I try. It's the makeup. Don't let the makeup fool you now. I try. But anyway, right now I just like get ready because I am waiting to meet up with my friends. We are going to go for dinner later today. A friend of mine lives here in Australia, so I was like, this time because I have a longer layover, I have to meet her. So I have to meet her. Okay, so that's why I'm dressed up. So Melbourne, uko na time to kunywe chai ama? Which part? You know what? I have to meet up with a friend, and I don't know how long it's gonna take. MJ wants to meet up. Oh, you're sweet. Uh, if I meet up with this friend and see what else, then let's see afterwards. Have been to Toronto. Yes, I have ever been to Toronto. We stay in Toronto for 72 hours. It's lovely. I love it in Toronto. I have a question. What happens if a crew member becomes ill on layover? If a crew member becomes ill on a you guys, you have to ask me question to keep the live going. Otherwise, I'm going to shut it down and leave if you guys are not getting me engaged. So, if a crew gets sick on the layover, they have to call SOS. That's like that's like a on-call doctor that is assigned for us. So then you call them, and then depending on, then you get grounded in that whichever country you get sick on, based on what illness you have. You have to do proper medical attention, and then you cannot fly. You will only fly back when you are well. But then people avoid doing that. Nobody wants to stay in such a hotel. Like, you just want to just sit there with your blanket and your medication away from your life, that you're sick outside, far away from home. But if it is really critical, you have to. So you have to stay, and then they will somebody will cover up. Usually they have at least one extra crew, or just maybe the crew will work extra for you, but you can't fly when you are not fit. You cannot, even if you have a flu, they are afraid of your ears getting blocked, and you must be afraid of yourself. Most people go to work even when they are sick. I have ever done that. But because obviously also, if you have a couple of sick days that you keep getting sick, they can evaluate your file and see, oh, is she not fit to fly? Because as a flight attendant, you have to be 100% fit. And when you keep calling sick, or when you keep getting sick, they feel like you are not fit for the duty. So then they can evaluate. Then it depends. You can have up to 15 days in a year of sick days. But then if you have to have major thing like surgery or something, people can even go up to 6 months sick leave. Like, especially if you got injured at work, then you can stay more. You can stay longer without any problem. But there are people who just call sick for the sake of, they don't want to go to work. Like, they just don't want. Then those, you cannot exceed those. You can only take 15 at a year. If you take more than 15, then your file gets evaluated, and you don't want that. They call you up to the office, come and explain why you are always sick. Who wants to explain why they are always sick? You guys, there was a time I had done most of these Asian turnaround flights, and I was just sick of it. I was just like, I am tired. I'm not doing this flight again. So I was like, I had a couple of days them in a row. Kathmandu, Trivandrum, Beirut. You don't want to know what kind of this flight. And then I was like, I have to call sick. I wasn't sick, but I was like, I have to call sick. And then wait for it. I was supposed to call fatigue, because when you feel like your body cannot handle it anymore, you can call fatigue and file fatigue and say the reason why you're fatigued and you cannot operate that flight. And they can look at the trend of how your duty has been, and then they can easily allow you to actually call fatigue even 2 days in a row, 3 days in a row. It doesn't matter. But then what I did wrong was I called sick, and then I asked my colleague, you know what? I don't feel sick. Nothing is paining me. I'm just tired. I didn't know that I needed to call fatigue anyway. I'm just so exhausted. Exhausted. I cannot even wake up. And then she told me, oh, what you do, just go to the hospital, and but if you go to the hospital, you also have to give a good excuse to get a sick note, because you cannot be sick without a sick note, and then you have to email them the sick note for them to know that you're sick, with approved doctor, with a stamp from the UAE Health Organization to know that she is actually sick. She was seen by a professional. So for me, I wasn't sick now. I just wanted to call sick for the sake of it. So this girl told me, you go and say that you have diarrhea 5 times. And then I was like, oh, that's a very good idea. To diarrhea 5 times, that's a very good idea. Should I say also that I have vomited? She said, go and lie. Say anything that is a lie. Say something is paining, something. Even because if you go and say you have headache, they are like, what kind of this now? You just take Panadol and go to work. What is this? So you cannot say you have headache. So she told me, say you are diarrheaing. So I went and I said, hey, I have diarrhea. Since I have been diarrheaing since I don't know how many times. And then the doctor looked at me and said, hey, you've been diarrheaing 5 times. No. You've lost so much fluid. You need to be put. I was admitted. I was put on liquid. I was put on this, these things that hang in your skin. They put it in your skin. I don't know what is this called, but they like put some needles and whatever. And that was so unnecessary. I said I will never ever do that again. I was admitted. For no reason. I wasn't even sick, so I was just sitting there in my room, and I was like, what is this now? Why am I doing this to myself? And I was just feeling sorry. I was like, there are people who are actually sick, but I am not sick, but I am here. Then I said, I'm not going to do this again. It's better for you to do what? To go. But anyway, the thing is, the reason why I'm giving you, I know some people might be telling me, why are you giving this kind of story? Maybe the people at work might be watching and saying that, oh, you are making that you make a fake sick leave, la la la. I'm like, come on, just leave my life alone now. Listen, the thing is, if you are too tired to go to work, or for some reason you can't work, just call fatigue. That is what I do nowadays. And that's better. And even if I had a lot of sick leave, and somewhere a lot of people fake their sick leaves anyway. Even if they feel pain here, they're like, oh, I'm not going today. So long as you have such of those in 15 of them in a row, in one year, you don't have problem. You can still go. So for me, I've never exited. I've never ever exited. Thank God for good health. Thank God for good health. I've never exceeded, and I thank God so much. So anyway, I'm always like 5 days, 3 days maximum in a year. I call sick when I really need to call sick. So let me see your question. Have you been to New York? Yes, I have been to New York City. I've been to New York City so many times. I have a question. Yeah, you have. Yes. What's your favorite food? I like ugali. Ugali with seafood. I like fish, tilapia. And I also like ugali mayai. Oh God, ugali mayai skuma, my favorite. Every time I go home to Kenya, I ask for that straight away. The first thing, ugali mayai skuma. And my housemaid knows how to cook it so well. So yeah, that's my favorite meal. And also ugali and coconut beans. That's also my favorite. So who asked? Let's see what you are asking. I have a question. Okay, somebody asked something here. Okay, have you learned how to use your Canon G7X? Oh, my Canon G7X is another story, my friend. Hey, I told you with these gadgets. First of all, I am not sure. The fact that every time I make a video, I have to transfer it and wait for 1 hour for it to transfer, because I don't know. I cannot because I usually make a video on 7G on the Max, and then I transfer it. I only edit with my phone. I cannot edit. I don't know how to edit on my MacBook. That's me. I'm sorry. I'm not tech savvy. I'm crap in that. I need to actually go to some professionals to teach me how to do all these things, all this YouTube tech. So then I just transfer it on my phone. It takes 1 hour. Then I have to edit it. Again, takes another hour before I even download. It takes 3 hours for me to even download a video. When I can just do it on my phone. And then, you know what? I leave this Mac, whatever Mac, something, this camera for the days that I have time, that I can do all these things and I can edit. And I'm also looking for proper ring light for me to use it now professionally. But so far it's a good camera. I still like it. So, do you need a visa while transiting via UK? Yes, I do. Hi, Nailoki, I'm one of your big fans. Yes, Awana, thank you. I'm recording the live here as I am starting a channel, and I would like, if you don't mind, to include live comment. Oh, MJs, yes, I will check out your channel. I will DM you or comment under this video. All right, no problem. You inspire us a lot. What motivates you so much? What motivates me? What motivates me so much? I think I don't want to be preachy, but I think God does. I think God does. I think when I look at where God has brought me from and everything that He's done for me, I feel so motivated. I think that's what motivates me most of the time. Even when I wake up, when I feel alone, when I feel low, when I feel sad, I'm just like, He's got me. He says He will never leave me nor forsake me. He got me. So why am I even letting this world nonsense things put me down for no reason? I'm like, God got me. Who can be against me now? So this gets me so motivated. I stand up even when things get tough. Like, for example, yesterday before I came to work, I was just so sad based on the Ethiopian Airline thing that happened. And I hadn't slept since that thing happened. And I was just so gloomy the whole day. I was just sad. I was just imagining their ordeal. I was based on being on in an airline. I was just like, and especially I had such a long flight coming, and I was just sad. And I just say to God, you know what, God, I cannot do this for myself, and I cannot keep, I know whatever happened, but then please, Lord, just give those families, give them peace that surpasses all human understanding. And as you give them peace, as you are in the process of working in them, may you give me peace as well, to know that you, God, you hold the whole world in your hand, including these aircrafts, these things that are made with the mere human hands. You hold these things for this day. These things are big. My goodness. Even me, I have been in this industry for more than how many years, and I have never understood how that huge, humongous thing can just stay in the air and just cruise over to 200,000. I don't understand. I don't understand how this thing, the machine itself, stays above the sea level. I've never understood that. And even when I look at the engines, how massive those things are, I just look at it and I just say to God, Father, this is your hand. Every time I touch down, every time I take off and touch down, I land, and the first thing I look at the sky and I smell the ground and I say, if it were not for your hand that brought us this place safe, thank you. First thing when I'm on the aero bridge, every time since it's been 10 years that I usually kiss the sky, I say, please give me 1 minute. I just want to kiss the sky. Because usually I just want to say thank you to the one who made everything possible to make us reach here safe and sound. It is only by God's grace. And I pray every single flight attendant around the world, every person who is flying, who is their livelihood, I pray that God, God's protection be upon your life in the mighty name of Jesus. And stay safe, stay connected, stay in God. And then I'm just like, if it were not for God, everything is useless. Everything is useless. Only God that matters. Sorry, you guys, for being preachy, but I just feel that really motivates me every time. When I'm almost giving up, it really motivates me so much. So then, let me look at another question. Okay. I hope you. Oh yeah. Okay, Georgina. Yeah. Hope to see you soon again. You're so beautiful. Isaac Ford is saying that. Oh, thank you. MJ's okay. Have you ever been to South Korea? South Korea? No, I've never been to Korea. What is what is the difference between the South Korea and what Korea? What other Korea? No, I've never been to South Korea. I've never been to Nagoya, to South Korea. Is it the Korea that the Kim Jong Korea one, or which Korea are you talking about? Oh my God, I don't know, you guys. I don't know. There's another one that usually has put their people hostage. And there's a Kim Jong one. I think I went to the Kim Jong one, but not the other one. The other one I've never been. Who has ever been to that one? Okay. It's a drip, Ruby. Yes, it's this drip in the hospital now. All right. Okay, so I am currently in Dubai. Can you assist me in getting a job? Oh, Sean is telling me to assist her in getting a job. How now? How can I do that? There's a lot of employment. I think I'm going to actually screenshot a couple of. I sent my sister recently employment agency. I have family members who are looking for jobs. come and look for job themselves. They have to hunt for those jobs themselves. I don't think in the Emirates anybody can find you a job. You can just like, even me, I'm not allowed to submit your CV, your paper copy CV to my company, to just submit it for the sake of submit it. I'm not allowed because everyone does it online. So I don't think I'm able to help you find a job. I think you can just apply and go to the interview yourself. Okay, so it must hit close to home, but soldier on. Thank you. What is the general mood amongst your co-worker in light or the Ethiopian Airline car? Are you talking about it? Yeah, Shelly Ann. Yes, we were talking about it actually. And I'm the one who brought it up because I had gone to the cockpit to the flight crew because I feel like they know the technicals of whatever happened to the Ethiopian Airlines. So I was just like having first of all, the manager of the flight asked me if I was related to anybody who passed on, that she started the conversation, and she just sort of reminded me of that because I was trying to block it away. But you can never block these things away, man. You can never block. These are things that really happen. They are very rare. They rarely happen, but usually happen. Sometimes tattooed once in a while, they do happen. But anyway, this girl was asking me, and I was just like reminded, and I said to her, no, but I just feel the loss because I haven't slept for like 3 days in a row since this happened. So the what is the general mood? So I was talking to the captain, and the captain was sort of giving me, because nobody knows what exactly happened. What people knows is that this aircraft, the exact aircraft, 8 Max, whatever, it's a Boeing, it's made in US. Obviously, all Boeings are made in US. And he was just telling me that that something might have gone wrong with the aircraft systems. But again, he said that the first officer of the flight was actually very inexperienced. That's what he said. That he had like, I don't know, 2,000 flying hours. That's so less. He's been flying for less than a year. So meaning that he is, and I was just like I thought they start with smaller fleets before they go to Boeing. I don't know, because I see the cadets pilots, most of them starting from in our company, they start from the smaller fleets and then they graduate to the further biggest fleet. But anyway, so even him, he really didn't know exactly what happened, but he was just telling me that there was a lot of technique. There could have been some faulty with the aircraft because it's the second time in a row that this same model of the aircraft has had an accident. So he was just telling me that, and again, there's something that he mentioned that was very, very crucial. He said that a lot of airlines don't really care to insist that the people, their pilots, have to know how to fly the aircraft when let's say manually just fly the aircraft. He said, listen, the job, so many people have gotten so comfortable with doing auto, letting the computer doing the work. To an extent, most companies don't care about their pilots exercising their real flying. Nobody flies anymore. So that is very dangerous. That's what he was saying. In case the computer system shuts down, they don't know what to do because they are not used to, they can't fly, In real sense, they cannot fly, because they are so used to doing auto, the computer stuff doing things for them. To an extent, when let's say, because he told me that they are actually trained to take over when the aircraft act crazy, to take over to fly manually and land that beast down, land it. You guys, you have no idea. I'm a flight attendant, and I get fascinated with the aircraft, just the way that thing is. It fascinates me so much. And just to see that thing on the runway, even when it takes off, I feel butterfly. When I see it taking off or when I see it landing, I always in awe. So the pilot was telling me that the thing, they are trained to control this thing. They know. He was telling me that if something, let's say for sake, because we were like on 40, maybe almost 40,000 feet, and he was telling me, God forbid something crazy happens to this aircraft right now. He was just saying, God forbid something crazy happens, and the system decide to just shut down. He said, I am still capable of flying this aircraft. Why? Because I exercise and know, they go for simulation every 3 months. They go for simulation, not even less. They keep going for simulation. They go to the simulator to manually fly the aircraft, because a lot of them are used to computer doing the things for them. So he was telling me, in the case, in exactly what happened to this, he was just imagining and thinking about it. Like, for example, after takeoff, because somebody was also telling me that usually after takeoff, immediately after takeoff, the fuel, like the weight of the aircraft that the aircraft uses to take off is not the same weight that the aircraft can use to land. Then I was asking the captain, is that real? Like, because people were saying that in the case of this Ethiopian airline, that when it took off, that there was no way it didn't have enough time, because only for it to land, the aircraft they have to dump their fuel for it to have less weight, because fuel is up to 60 ton or more. For it to be able to land, they had to dump the fuel. Then I was just asking the captain, is that for real? Like, if something happens to the aircraft, you just took off 6 minutes after takeoff, there's no way you can land. He said in that model of aircrafts, it's very possible, because also the technicalities of like how aircraft is like the flying time, you have to look at it also, because it was only 2 hours flying. They were only flying for 2 hours. So he sort of was just giving all his theories and saying, I'm not saying he was not saying, listen, I don't know what happened. He was saying, I don't know what happened. They haven't even they're still doing investigation. We will know exactly what happened. But this is just my theory as a pilot. This is what I would say might have happened. He's not saying this is exactly what happened. But he was just saying that that aircraft could easily take off and land with the same fuel. Even they didn't even have to dump the fuel. That's what he said to me. That they didn't really even have to dump the fuel, because the aircraft is like, what is it called? It's the aircraft is actually designed in that aircraft. That same aircraft is designed in a way that it's very light, because they compacted it to become very much fuel efficient. So they made it in a way that it's still light. It can still take off and land anyway. That's what he said to me. And then he was saying, if it was the aircraft that we were on today, because we were also on 777, but it was on a 787 aircraft. It's a lovely aircraft. And he was just saying that if something like that happened with this one, we have to dump the fuel, and then we have to find a way how we are going to put this beast on the ground. It doesn't matter how we put it, but we had to land. The main thing was land it on ground, land it in water, land it wherever, but just get this thing on the ground. Because he was saying, let's say if something happens like fire, immediately you have to put this thing on the ground. That's what he said. But then what he mentioned, he was like, but what happened with this one? The systems failed as soon as, because he said to me that the pilot requested to return, but then they didn't have time. Because to return, I think because they were not mentally, these kind of things, people never mentally prepare, man. Nobody ever mentally prepares. So it happened so abruptly that they didn't even have a chance. Because he said that the aircraft just lost control totally. And because they were so used to, that is what he was thinking. Because a lot of people are used to flying by wire, like doing everything by computer. They don't know how to really control the aircraft. So it just like went haywire and just like plunged. So that's what he said to me. And then he said today he's going to look into it further, and then we will have a conversation tomorrow. Because I usually really like having this kind of conversations. We never avoid this kind of conversations. A lot of people, we talk about it most of the time. We really talk about it. We have this kind of conversations. Even when something like this, when Fly Dubai, when the same thing happened on Fly Dubai, we were, you won't believe it, but we were at 40,000 feet. We were going somewhere when, news just comes in like this, and they were like, like, especially people just like know what happened. Breaking news in the aeroplane, the phones are on, everyone knows what happened. So we were just like being told, oh, you guys, you know what just happened? And we're like, what happened? Can you imagine Fly Dubai or la 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 just happened, like la la la? And we were like, are you serious? Obviously we were not, we were like, are you serious? Of course you get very, very shocked and very afraid, but then you are like just praying for the people affected, and we had more and more conversation about this. All right, so all right. Yeah, so I'm keeping reading. All right, I keep reading. I'm still waiting for the necklace I did ask you for since the last year. Oh my god, with the necklaces, just don't mind me, man. I'm something else. Yeah, Joy. Yeah. So, boy, imagine. And it's funny because I don't even use those necklaces. I don't even use them. I should have sent them long time ago, but I'll just try to find a way. Now that you've reminded me, in the media we are hearing the pilot was experienced. The pilot was experienced, but the co-pilot had 2,000 flying hours. Yeah, that's just what's being alleged. I don't know exactly what happened. The capital of South Korea. Oh, yeah, Seoul. Yeah, I've been to Seoul, South Korea. Yeah. I've been to there. There's another Korea. What is the other Korea? I don't want to sound stupid on up in. How do I mentally prepare for the flight? I just mentally prepare, man. I just mentally prepare. I'm just like, you guys, I don't know, but every time I want to go on a flight, I'm usually, I'm just like, sometimes I'm anxious, especially when I have long flight like this one. It was like a 14-hour flight. Sometimes I'm anxious, especially with the news of Ethiopian, la la la. Sometimes I'm anxious, but then a friend of mine I was calling her and I was talking to her and I was telling her I'm anxious and it's sad, la la. And then she was telling me, she's a very nice girl. She was just telling me, you know what? What is the probability of this happening? Like in the flight, in the road, we have more accidents in the road than on the air. Like there is very less probability of this happening. Like don't even worry about it. Like you okay, you're gonna be okay. So preparing mentally, it's usually a little bit of a struggle because I have my anxious times here and there, not anxious about the duty itself, but just anxious of the flying phase. I've been flying for so long, but I get anxious sometimes. I get anxious sometimes. And I was just like saying to, I was saying, we thank God for safety. We thank God for the work He's doing. We thank God for protection. We thank God for. But then I was just like seeing on the social media, one of the families of the lady, one of the families lost, Kenyan family, lost 5 members of the family. And she sent her dad. Her dad was waiting for her at the airport. And the conversation is on social media. It's like going around on social media that the dad was talking to her. And the girl, she's a woman. The mother had come to visit her for 6 months. The mother was initially supposed to stay for 3 months, but she extended her stay. So she stayed for 6 months. And with her daughter, I don't know, in abroad somewhere. I don't know exactly which part of abroad. But then when they were coming back, the daughter was at the airport. I think they were in transit, and she was sending her father a message. And she was telling her father that she is very afraid, like this, her heart is not at peace at all. There's something that is gonna happen, but she cannot put her finger what it is. But she was just like, something terrible is about to happen, but I cannot put a finger what it is. And I was like, what? she was having these premonitions, and she was sending the father this message, and I was just like, it happens sometimes that people are just in fear, especially after so many a couple of accidents, and I was just like, I was in fear. When you ask me being mentally prepared for the flight, sometimes I ask God. I just tell God, please flood my heart with so much peace, and just like, because mentally getting prepared takes the hand of God. So I usually just ask God to help me out, and he usually does. And he usually does. It's been amazing since I started flying. God has been telling me that everything is gonna be okay. Do you think starring as aeroplane in a dense forest gives more chance of survival? Hey, Mama, S beachings. Yo. For me, most chance of survival, you're saying on the forest. There was a time that even there was an aircraft that went on the forest, and I was thinking the same thing. I was like, okay, the trees can hold it up, man. The trees can actually give it a cushion so that it can just land safely on the trees. But no, that's not the case. Like when it plunges with so much force that nothing can it just crashes everything. So it's a huge aircraft, is huge. It's huge machine, you guys, loaded with, it's unbelievable. So I don't think it's there's a chance. Only takes the hand of God. How many pilots have you flown with? Do you know the pilots? Do you have idea of who they are, and are they nice? Yeah, pilots are generally very nice. Pilots are extremely nice, especially because I don't know what they do. I think before they hire them, they look at their personalities as well, because majority of the pilots I've flown with are such sweethearts. And I don't know most of them. Like, I don't know them by name. Like, I just fly with them, and I'm supposed to know them by name when I fly with them. But after that, that's it. If I meet him somewhere, I'd say maybe sometimes you fly with them over and over again. And yeah, you'd know them, but you'd not know them personally, obviously. But most of them are really nice. Do you think a little wine or spirit on the plane when you are anxious? Do you mean this when you are a crew, or what? Or because if you are a crew, you cannot take any wine, or you cannot drink anything. I think just like I pray for safety every time before I take off and before I land. I pray for safety, and whenever I see an aircraft taking off, I pray for their safety. I just say, God, may you lead them to safety. So I think for me, prayers. I don't think alcohol calms me when I'm flying. No, I can never take that. Yeah. So with these five members, yeah, she was her and her three children and her mom. So, and she was just like telling her dad something is gonna happen, something crazy is gonna happen, and my heart is just not at peace. And I was just her instincts was telling her, and I wish you could just say I'm not, you could divert or say, cancel. But then at that particular point, you feel like sometimes it's just like people just some of these situations is just like impossible to turn back for some reason. You feel like you would have turned back. Obviously, a lot of people are like, oh, I wish they would have, but in most cases, like, it's a scheduled flight. You are there in boarding gate. It happens. Like, it just happens. It's very unfortunate, and it is well. At the end of the day, it is well. God is still in control. It is well. God is still in control. So I think it's time inventors should come up with a kind of technological commercial flight parachute for passengers in case of future occurrences which we don't pray for. Yeah, like parachute. Yeah, but most of these things, they happen abruptly. You don't even have time to take your parachute and don your parachute, and 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 just remember, even when you are in the air, the aircraft doors are sucked in, like they can't open. When you are in the air, there is a certain, like, the aircraft has to be to land for the doors to slowly, I don't know how to explain, but the aircraft seals its system before takeoff. All the doors and the windows and everything is sealed, so there's no way you can be up there and the doors open and for you to get out with the parachute. Like, there's just no way. Like, people usually ask, oh, what if somebody opens the door in the air? Like, don't try to do that, because obviously you will go to be jailed. you know Even though the door itself cannot be opened, but if you try to do that, you will be restrained and you will go to jail. Don't do that. But still, the door can never open. That's just what it is. It can never open. So even with the parachute invention, I don't think it would help, unless they make another aircraft. I don't know. But then he was just telling me that the new model that has had accident twice. He was just telling me that it's been modified, put a new softwares and new systems, and they are like almost trying to experiment with it, like trying new systems and trying this and trying to compact it to make it fuel efficient. And most of the time, when you do away with the old systems and you bring the new, you see some of the, let's say Mac, or let's say Apple, like sometimes they bring this crazy softwares that just slows the phone down and makes it even sometimes useless, and batteries just run out and it's useless. So this is the same thing sometimes they do with these systems. They kick out the old system, bringing in the new. They don't even know, maybe the new will bring the glitch with it, come with the glitch. So he was just telling me that the new aircraft is very modified, that it's but then he was telling me that there are 50 of them, which are 500 of them, that are flying all over the world, and nothing bad has happened with them apart from these two that had accidents. But he was just saying that, yeah, it's just like, I think it needs to be grounded all together. It needs to be grounded. And I was just like thinking, because usually it's very very rare for people for flight to be so empty. But when we were coming here, the flight was just like empty for some reason. People just like probably backed off and they didn't want to fly or something. Because maybe when they were thinking it's the same aircraft, I don't know, because it's not the same aircraft. Ours was 787 Boeing, but the other one was also Boeing, but it's not the same aircraft. It's two different aircrafts. But yeah, I don't know if that was the reason why so many people just probably didn't show up, or I don't know. Yeah, but it's just like something. It's something that is in the news that is very sudden, and I just felt I just wanted to talk about it, being in the airline community, because for me it was just like, oh my God, I haven't been sleeping. That's the thing. I just haven't been sleeping well since that happened. Like, I just put myself in their shoe all together, see them. I imagine them, and I see them preparing for duty. I see them talking with their friends I just see them, and for me, this is my daily to day job, and I was just like, God, I don't know, like, it just got me so sad. That's the reason why I talked about it. So she was on the plane, or did her family die? Yeah. The lady went to the plane, and her family, 5 of the family members, the one who sent the message, and her family was flying, and she obviously perished. It is well. God is faithful. It is okay. It is not okay, obviously, for the family, but I just pray for the peace. Yeah. So you ask, yeah. So how do you manage to maintain your hair and skin moisturized in the high altitude, since that's dry air? It's not that dry, actually. Can you imagine? This is a face of somebody who's done it for 10 years, so it's not so bad. It's not so bad. It's just like, I don't even do anything special, so it's just like, yeah. uh Eh, on a long line, on a chair or a coat. Okay, Joyce Bennett has a lot of questions. So, where do we sleep? Okay, we have banks. We have a place designated for crew to sleep. So, so yeah, we have a different cabin designated for the crew to sleep somewhere in the aircraft. So yeah, we go to sleep and it's a flat bed. You actually lay down. So it's a very good. So somebody is asking me, I think you are being haunted by this. No, I'm not. I'm not being haunted. It's just something that has happened. It's very normal for the airline community to feel like this. And I'm not the only one who feels like this. I'm sure so many people feel like this. And we are also grieving with our fellow crew, it's just something that until you're in the airline yourself, you'll come to feel. So anyway, you guys, I hope you like this video, and I think I'm going to end it here. And I hope um, to it's secret beds. It's somewhere either in the belly of the aircraft or above or on the roof of the aircraft. But it's somewhere. It's usually somewhere, and there is an entrance somewhere in the aircraft that you might not even realize. So yeah, because it's supposed to be somewhere. It's supposed to be a secret place. So yeah. So anyway, you guys, I hope to see you in my next video. Have a lovely day. Yeah. How do you end this live? Okay, so now if I may figure out how to end this.